And we're back. It's your boy, Mario Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Great Cinema Draft Game. And I'm here with a man who needs no introduction, Cinema Draft's most prolific guest and gaming enthusiast, host of the Mostly Sports podcast. It's my boy, it's your boy, it's Jay Devlin.
What's up, buddy? Thanks for having me back on. Again, in my intro, you failed to mention that I am the first ever winner of the Cinema Draft Game. All right?
I'm on your tombstone, first line on your epitaph, the first ever winner of the Cinema Draft site game, Jay Devlin.
It's in my will. That is absolutely the first thing in my obituary. I want nothing else about me, just here lies Jay Devlin, the very first winner of the Cinema Draft Game, the game that has taken over the world, the most popular game in the world, and he was the first to ever win. So,
amen to that. History maker in our presence, our anti-Cohen-inspired Watch What Happens live drinking game tonight shall be the word rich. Because every time you hear one of us say this word, take a sip of what you're sipping. This is water, not vodka. Mm-hmm. That would be very rich. I mean, because tonight's pod is all about covering the very rich tradition of costume dramas. All right. So, the world is on fire. Social contracts torn up. Pandemic's got us at home. Everything's a fucking mess. So, I want you to tell me something good, Jay Devlin. Tell me something good for your corner of the world.
You were breaking up a little bit right there. I apologize.
I'm saying that. Tell me something good over your corner of the world.
Man, things are good, man. I mean, obviously there's a lot going on in the world, but you do what you do. You wake up in the morning, you do your best to have a nice day, and impact others with some positivity and some kindness, and that's a good place to start, man. Hard to clean up the world when you can't clean up your own house. So I would implore everybody to start in their own house and then work their way out.
So what's something good in your own house, Jay Devlin?
Good. That's good. My dog Travis, right there, man. He's
great name.
He's something good. Getting ready to move. We're getting ready to move back to Annapolis, Maryland. Come in about 3 weeks. So my time in LA is tick-tocking away very quickly.
Oh shit! Like for good. Like you're out.
Good. Yeah, we're heading east. We're packing up the truck and we're heading out of town, man. So, it's been a good run. Been in LA for 13 years. Still going to be coming out here quite a bit. My wonderful, wonderful girlfriend, Melissa, has 2 daughters to live out here. So we're going to still be out here quite a bit. But yeah, pretty excited, man. Pretty excited to head to Annapolis. So,
I mean, I'm devastated. I mean, those runs at the marina won't be the same. I mean, goodness. I mean, not that I'm out in LA every weekend or anything, but like when everything goes back to normal, I mean, I definitely hope to see you out there on the court. Like, I got to tee up and have you hit a 30-footer in my face. I mean, just like
don't worry, Ed. You get a couple jumpers that'll be rained down in your face. So, at least 1 or 2 more times in your life. I do have a bone to pick with you, though. I mean, look, as you said, I'm the most prolific guest in Cinema Draft podcast history. We have a great time. We chop it up. I love the community. I love everything you're doing, right? But you usually put it on a tee for me, and we just have a good time. However, you're hitting me with costume dramas today. I didn't even know what a goddamn costume drama was. I had to go on a deep. I had to ask Jeeves. Jeeves told me what it was. I was able to pick 3 or 4, so I feel like I'm primed and ready. But I appreciate the homework you gave me.
And well, you know what? You're so versatile. I felt like it'd be a cliche if we leaned into what's home cooking for you, like something like gambling or sports related. I mean, you're more than that, Jay Devlin. I believe in you.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. What are you watching these days, man? What's on the Edwardo TV? What's streaming with you in the draft market?
Well, thank you for commandeering the show and into what I'm watching. I appreciate that. I was actually just typing it in to the IMDb. Let me share my screen real quick and show you guys what I'm watching. Outlander is the show I'm watching right now. I just got started. It's like, I think 5 completed seasons. It's kind of nuts. It's definitely a costume drama. It basically deals with a 1945 or 46 English combat nurse from World War II in England. She's on her honeymoon in Scotland with her boo, and she goes to these sacred stones, puts her hands on them, and then is magically transported to 1743 Scotland, where Scotland's like an occupied territory by the British, and English people aren't looked well upon, and she's trying to get back to her own time. It's wild. And I love me some historical fiction, so I'm not surprised that I'm enjoying it, and I have to give it up for Outlander. This show is extremely horny. It definitely is very, very sexy. A lot of sex, a lot of nudity, a lot of gore. I mean, and honestly, I finished watching the season 1 finale last night, and that was a hard watch. Like this dude, Tobias Menzies, I think he actually won like either an Emmy or a Golden Globe for his season 1 performance. He's on one. He is really killing it. And it's a really good story, and I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. Have you seen or watched Outlander?
Well, Ed, I didn't realize that during COVID and these tough times, you morphed into my 75-year-old mom. That is certainly one of her favorite shows. My mom and my stepdad no longer watch shows that are based in America. They only watch Acorn. They only watch, stuff from like every country in Europe other than this country. So yeah, she's a big Poldark fan, a big Outlander fan, and she's tried to get me and Melissa to watch, and it didn't take. I'll just say that. I'm not going to rip it.
The accents are incredible. I mean, lots of broad lingo from the wee lads and lasses, you can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You need subtitles. I couldn't understand half the things these people were saying.
Oh, I watch every show with captions now. I'm officially washed.
Okay. Well, look at me. I got I used to wear fake glasses because I was like, all right, they look kind of studious. Now it's karma. Now I need these things. So
okay, fair enough.
I talk about being washed. I'm definitely washed. What am I watching?
What are you watching?
Dude, so I was on the pod about 6 weeks ago with you, man. We had a great time. We chopped it up. And I had a friend of mine talked me into watching season 1 of Survivor, right?
That's right.
So that was 5-6 weeks ago, Ed. Since then, I've watched 32 seasons of Survivor.
That's too much.
I've literally watched Top Chef, still watching Top Chef. I'm still watching some other like reality Vanderpumpy type stuff. But yeah, it's just been nonstop Survivor. We spent like a couple weeks down in Palm Springs. Had to get a place that had a TV outside so I could watch Survivor while I swam in the pool. All right, that's kind of a whatever. Take that how you want to take it. But I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Survivor. I had it on before we started this podcast. I'm going to put it back on after the podcast is over. My girlfriend hates me because I can't stop watching it, but I have 8 seasons left. Best show on TV. Best show I've ever watched in my entire life. It is usurped Lost as my favorite show of all time.
Those are bold claims, Jay Devlin. What makes Survivor the best show you've ever watched? That seems like hyperbole.
We live in bold times, Ed. We live in bold times. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I've learned a lot, not only about myself, but about the people around me. I look at the world totally differently now after watching 32 seasons of Survivor in about 5 or 6 weeks. I don't know. I take the deep dive. Just trust me. Watch a couple of seasons. You won't be able to stop watching.
Well, all right. Well, I'll take your word for it, Jay Devlin. I don't know if I've got 39 or 40 seasons in me, but wow. Okay. Jay Devlin is on Survivor. Well, so from our DraftStream game, the other thing I've been watching is The Five Bloods, which debuted on Netflix this past weekend. Have you seen that?
All right. So I saw you tweeting about it, and it looks amazing. I love everybody that's in it. And as soon as I can take a break from my Survivor stuff, it's probably number 1 in my queue without giving anything away. I think I understand the gist of it. Can you break it down for me a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So 4 Black Vietnam vets return 50 years later to Vietnam, kind of to honor their fallen comrade, but really they're there to retrieve a cache of U.S. gold they buried during the war. And it's interesting because they do some cutting away back and forth between when they're in the shit in Vietnam in I think it was 68 or 70. I think it was 71 was when they were actually in Vietnam on that side. And so that's kind of interesting. And also the fact that we really haven't seen the definitive or really any Black Vietnam war vet movies. And one of the things they mentioned in the film is that African Americans at the time were only 10% of the population in the U.S. I think we're now like 13 or 14%, but we made up almost a third, like 32% of the fighting forces of Vietnam, which is wild.
Yeah,
the fact you got like Platoon and Casualties of War and all the in Apocalypse Now, all these great Vietnam War movies, but are mostly white centered. It's never really occurred to me that maybe we should have one about the Black experience. So Spike Lee really did kind of fill that role. It's weird though. It's Spike. He this is him with a blank check from Netflix. He's kind of it gets a little messy and weird, and Delroy Lindo has some fun with it, but. It's worthwhile. It's worth your time, definitely.
Delroy Lindo is amazing. I mean, the cast looks dope. As far as Spike goes for me, I think it's one of those things. It's either a huge hit or a huge miss for me.
Yeah.
So which I kind of like. I like a polarizing director. I like going into something knowing it could be an absolute train wreck for me personally, or it could be like an amazing experience where I want to watch the movie over and over again. So I'm definitely excited for that part of it.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing your thoughts, perhaps in the group chat, on what you think of The Five Bloods, because I'm pretty sure several of us have already seen it. As you can see, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Looks like everyone else out there. So, yeah.
Damn, Don, you're a hard grader, man. I wouldn't want to take your class.
7's good, and this thing is easily 20 minutes too long. I mean, I love you, Spike, but I mean, come on, tighten up. But that's what you get when you get that Netflix money and no editor and just Spike, 40 acres and a mule just wilding out. So, but I'm glad it exists in the world. It is, pretty artistic. It's a good time, or it's interesting at the very least, and it's, it fills a niche. Anything else you're watching you want to bring up, Jay Devlin?
Well, your 7 out of 10 is fine, because I'll tell you what my motto in college was: C's get degrees, my man.
Fair enough. And sometimes they become our president. Look at you, W. All right. All right. So if there's nothing else, we will go right into our top 5 costume dramas. And basically, for those of you who are new to, there we go. Stop.
There he is. Dude, look at that beard, man.
Yeah.
You're looking like Cornel West. Look at you.
Gee, thanks. But every guy wants to. Actually, that's good. Yeah. So, anyways, basically, Cornel West. Actually, Cornel West might be back. He was out of the wilderness during the Obama administration. We might be coming back. Come back to us, Cornel. Come back. And actually, true story, quick cultural cul-de-sac, because that's what we do around here. I read Race Matters in freshman comp at Morehouse, and I just fell in love with his stuff. And he came to speak to our class. He came to speak to like 2 or 3 of our classes combined, and I've never seen a better extemporaneous speaker in my life. Cornel West, off the top of this dome, just like will take you on a journey, and it'll make sense. And his sentences are paragraphs. And I love the dude. He got a little crazy in his later years, but it seems like he's coming back to us now. So come on back, Cornel. Come on back.
Yeah, I mean, you hang on every word when he speaks. I mean, he's a treasure for sure.
Yeah, great hair too. Great hair. I hope that
great hair. Yeah, great. And I love that. When are we gonna do a top 5 hair movies? I mean, I'm a guy that I love some good hair.
I'm writing that down.
I want to do some hair movies.
Top 5 hair movies. That will be your next appearance. I'm literally writing this down.
You want me to give you a little? I'm going to give you a little appetizer. I'm going to give you a little amuse bouche, as they like to call it in the restaurant world. All right.
Hit me.
Legends of the Fall, one of the great hair movies in the history of cinema. Brad Pitt as Tristan, flowing.
I can see it. I can see it. Yeah.
So that's
okay. All right. I'm sorry. I was wanting more. I was like, what else is that hairbrain of yours? Literally. Okay. So we're gonna do top 5 costume dramas to simplify what the requirements are. Since Jay Devlin did ask, and I was a little unsure myself, it is going to be movies that are set in time periods before the 20th century. So truly costumes, men with rouge, as Jay Devlin would call them.
Men with rouge, yes. Rouged up men.
Yeah, so we will alternate picks. Once someone picks a movie, that movie is out of play. And of course, as our guest and the all-time appearance leader, I think this is your 32nd appearance on the Cine Draft podcast. Oh, yeah, that's like over a third probably of our podcast. Go ahead and you get the first pick, and I'll share my screen.
All right, so I'm going to start it off, man, with one of the, one of the great actors we've ever had in the history of the profession of thespianism. My man Heath Ledger in a very underrated film called A Knight's Tale. All right.
Okay.
I mean, I love A Knight's Tale. Take me back to the round tables, jousting. You got a young Paul Bettany in there. You got a super smoking hot Shanna Sossaman who just disappeared. Who you thought
she
was
was
on
hot.
the rock
She had
ship.
like a nice 2-3 year stretch. She was very hot. Yes.
She had a quick Pedro Martinez like run, and then she fell off the planet. I liken her career to Mark Fidrich of the Tigers, if you remember his career back in the late '60s. Anyway, I digress. A little sports trivia for our people out there. I know we got some sports fans, but yeah, great movie, man. Mark Addy, Paul Bettany, just a fun little thrill ride, man. Makes you laugh, and I'm gonna lead it off with A Knight's Tale.
That's a good one. And yeah, I remember A Knight's Tale. I might have actually even owned it. I enjoyed A Knight's Tale. Yeah, and true Heath Ledger throwing, just really charismatic. The early aughts, what a time to be alive. We were all still innocent and young before 9/11, all sort of stuff. So yes, A Knight's Tale, well done. All right, so I'm going to take what, at least for me, is a fairly obvious one off the board because it's fairly recent, and it's The Favorite. And this one is set in Queen Anne's court. I mean, I didn't know much about Queen Anne, the monarch. I mean, we're talking like, I don't know, what's that, 18th century England, early 18th century England. But it was great when it came out. You have Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz, facing off for the affections or attention of Olivia Colman, who won an Oscar for playing Queen Anne. It was very quirky. And in the marketing of this movie, I admire the way they marketed it because they made it seem like it was going to be this really funny thrill ride or whatever. But honestly, it's a drama. But they played up the quirky parts of it to kind of get you in the theater. And honestly, it worked. It was really fun. There were some funny moments, but it's pretty much a drama. You have like Emma Stone's lowly cousin of Rachel Weisz who comes to court and she's trying to make a way for herself, and Rachel Weisz is just like really mean and nasty to her, so it's got a little bit of a Mean Girls element to it set in Queen Anne's court. And then you got Queen Anne's super quirky, and then it becomes just this whole social climbing drama and comedy of errors and manners. And you also have, in what kicked off a really good Men with Rouge type run for him, Nicholas Hoult. There he is. Powdered wig, rouged cheeks, funky shoes, and tights, and he's killing it. And I'm not sure if you've seen The Great. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. It's on Hulu. He is awesome as Peter. He's not even Peter the Great. He's just Peter in that one as the Tsar of Russia. But he kicked off, I think, a really good stretch of anachronistic roles with this role in Favorite.
All right, let me a quick question. I gotta hijack you occasionally and sidebar you, tangent you, whatever you want to call it.
Cultural code stack.
Emma Stone, very polarizing actress, right? I feel like a lot people either love her or despise her. Real quick, your favorite Emma Stone movie, other than this one, obviously.
Well, first one comes to mind is Easy A. I mean, that's kind of what really had her break out for us. I mean, high school version of Scarlet Letter, that was great. That's the first one that came to mind. But also, and I know it gets a lot of shit, and I don't know why, probably because it lost to Moonlight, but I loved La La Land. I think it's a great movie. It makes you want to run out and fall in love. And I'm not like a huge musical guy, but I love La La Land. So La La Land for mature Emma Stone, Easy A for on the verge Emma Stone. And I guess also she was great in Superbad too, but Easy A just sprung to mind first.
Yeah, I probably skew to the side of I'm an Emma Stone fan. We just watched Easy A the other night, and I did find it entertaining. But for me, Crazy Stupid Love is just wheelhouse. It is Oscar Robertson's triple-double year. It is perfection. Fantastic movie. Great job by her. That's my favorite Emma Stone movie.
Yeah, and actually, I think we did a live rewatch about a few months ago on Twitter of Crazy Stupid Love, so I definitely can see that. Yeah, that's good. All right, so go ahead. What's your second movie?
All right, my second movie. I'm not as serious with mine. You're getting like deep into like the dudes with the ponytails, like this guy. You're getting deep. I'm gonna go with my guy Johnny Depp, in a little bit of legal trouble these days. All right, he's having some issues with his ex-wife. That being said, Curse of the Black Pearl. Come on.
Oh God, yes.
That movie. The rest of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies were absolute, pardon my French, Draft Mom, fucking trash. All right? The rest of those movies were awful. The first one was absolute perfection. From start to absolute finish. I mean, there's not even enough you can say about it. I'm just going to let it hang out there. Phenomenal movie, great costume drama, comedy, whatever you want to call it. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Top that one, Eduardo.
Yasafi? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I can't. I mean, honestly, that might be the best one that's mentioned all night. I mean, it is technically a costume drama. It's before the 20th century. They're all, I mean, he's got the guy liner and everything. I mean, they're using accents. I mean, yeah, I dig it. I like that. I've got nothing to add. But since you came out with a heavy hitter, I'm coming with a heavy hitter of my own, damn it. And this one is somewhat informative of our, I guess, youth-ish, and it's Dangerous Liaisons. I mean, anytime you mention costume drama, this has to come at the top of the list, damn it.
So much rouge. So much rouge.
Yeah. Dangerous Liaison, John Malkovich. I mean, he was already a star before this, but he really established himself in this. I think he got nominated. I think everyone got nominated for this. Michelle Pfeiffer, Glenn Close. It's so good, damn it. And I think it's based off of a play or something, but it was so good that they made a teenage version called Cruel Intentions. That's how good Dangerous Liaisons was as a film. And it just works all around. I mean, just Keanu Reeves, I forgot, totally young Keanu Reeves wearing that wig, damn it. Wear that wig, young Keanu. Everyone's in the sucker. It's hot, it's sexy, it's funny, it's smart, and there is drama. And I'm going to let that one hang out there, damn it. What do you got to say about Dangerous Liaisons?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've never seen it. And I'm going to also be honest with you a second time. I probably never will. That being said.
Oh, no. Whoa. Why won't Jay Devlin give the people what they want and see Dangerous Liaisons?
I mean, look, I got 8 more seasons of Survivor left. The powdered wig era, not really my steez, not my particular taste bud. But I'm sure it's pretty good. I didn't love Cruel Intentions either. I don't know if that's a hot take.
Oh, that is a hot take. That's excellent.
Yeah, it was fine. I don't know. Reese Witherspoon to me is just like kind of overrated. I grew up with the Meg Ryan, man. Meg Ryan is my sweetheart. All right.
Well, you like them cute and cuddly. I mean, Reese will give as good as she gets.
and look, I love Sweet Home Alabama. I can go a lot of good stuff. That being said, I'm going to let you know this: the best Keanu Reeves costume drama is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Okay. So,
I mean, okay. I guess technically, sure. Is that your next pick?
No, it's not. So I have 2 left. So this is a perfect little segue, Ed. I'm the king of the segue. Right. My period or costume drama actually involves the aforementioned Meg Ryan.
Okay.
And it is a beautiful. I am a sucker for a little bit of time travel, maybe a wormhole. Give me a little Kate and Leopold. What?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Where did that come from? Hugh Jackman and all of his Hugh Jackman glory. Like, nobody was. I bet you he never changed out of that outfit he was in the entire time he shot the movie. Breckin Meyer still kind of holding on to a career a little bit there. It was fading fast, but he was still, he was a third fiddle in a pretty big movie. Meg Ryan, super cute. Loved Kate and Leopold. Romantic comedy, good stuff. What do you think?
Well, I mean, Liev Schreiber, too. Wow. So this actually, once again, a simpler time. This is before 9/11. I think this was like a late summer entry, if I have this correct. And I kind of remember going to see it, but I didn't really want to see it. Like, I like Meg Ryan like everybody else. I like, Hugh Jackman, who was on the rise. But I just didn't. I mean, the premise wasn't really for me, but I went and saw it. And I remember enjoying it. There's probably some review kicking around the internet somewhere from The Real Deal Reviews with a Z from the street, and where I was like, oh, I'm pleasantly surprised at Kate Leopold, but it was charming. I remember enjoying it.
Super charming movie, and like you said, man, like it would be like seeing Pearl Jam playing at a TGI Fridays at a Seattle strip mall. You got in early on Hugh Jackman, man. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he probably went from Kate and Leopold over to a little Swordfish with Halle Berry. Right? and then the rise started, dude. So you could really see Hugh was going to be a star. Meg Ryan probably lost 4 or 5 miles on her fastball by then. But probably. She was Jamie Moyer, bro. She was still getting people out.
Jamie Moyer, deep cut. You know what? Baltimore favorite and also a Seattle favorite. So you're already ingratiating yourself to your soon-to-be Annapolis neighbors.
Yeah, that's right. I do a little bit of prep before this show, buddy. So yeah, Jamie. I mean, she was great. I enjoyed Kate and Leopold. Super cute movie, costume drama. Yeah, that's where I'm at. This is fun. Yeah, you told me to do this. I had no idea what I was looking for. And then the minute I went down into the costume drama lifestyle, I realized I like a lot of these movies.
You're feeling it. You're feeling it, huh? All right. Well, I'm going to take. Well, all right. So for my third pick, I'm going to go with one that actually came out recently, and it's a remake. Well, they've all been remade, but this is Emma, not Emma Stone, but just Emma with a period. Not the Emma in 1996, which was great. You know, Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh man, talk about costume drama stretch. Like her in the 90s and anything with like tights or a British accent, she's all over
in Love.
Yeah, all over it. Damn, I should have done that one. Anyways, Emma is fun. It's subversive. It's very, very quirky, and you know, and I love her. Her name is Anya Taylor-Joy. I was first exposed to her in James McAvoy one word Split. I was first exposed to her in Split. She was great in that. For some reason, it's super easy for British actresses to do a damn American accent. I'm kind of jealous, but she was great in that. And here she is in her native, English accent, playing Emma, a very meddlesome little matchmaker type chick back in what's, I don't know, 17th century England or whatever. And it's great because everything's all in her face. She's got these great big eyes. She's very clever and sly. She doesn't have like all the men tripping after her or whatever, but she's always like meddling. And I like a good kind of like meddlesome type drama or whatever. And there's this guy I also want to mention before I forget. Let me see if I can find his picture. His name is Josh. And she was great also. She's in Sex Education. She always plays younger than she is. She's got this really, really rubbery face. She's really good in Emma as well. But there's a guy named Josh. He plays the pastor in this. What's his name? Josh McDonnell. Anyways, he played Charles in The Crown season 3. He played like a young Prince Charles in The Crown season 3, and he's great as the quirky pastor in there. There he is.
Oh yeah, he's good.
He's so good. So come for Anya Taylor-Joy, stay for Josh O'Connor. Emma.
I like it. I might be able to if we're doing 5, I can definitely dig up another one. But in the 4 hole, that and Cleanup for me. One of my favorite actors of all time, Sean Connery. One of the great taglines in movie history.
Okay.
There can be only one.
Highlander.
Let's go. Christopher Lambert, Connor Macleod. You got Clancy Brown was one of the great 80s villains, of all time.
He's still kind of villain if you watch Billions. He plays a good asshole.
Oh, he plays an amazing asshole. I mean, Clancy Brown is phenomenal. If you haven't seen Highlander,
I haven't.
There was you haven't?
I haven't. This came out in 86. I was like 9.
Dude, I know what you're doing tonight. You got to fire up some Highlander. It is an absolute thrill ride. Just phenomenal. Sean Connery is just like, I can't even explain. He's like a Spaniard conquistador. All right. He's just phenomenal. Just a really good movie. A lot of ponytails and just a solid flick, man. Check out some Highlander again. So
tell me, give me the elevator pitch. What's it about?
So basically, there's a group. It's not time travel. It's a group of people that can live forever, right?
Okay.
So, but they're fighting each other and killing each other off until there is only one left. So Connor Macleod, like the movie starts back in like the 1500s, right?
Sure.
And he meets Sean Connery. Sean Connery takes him under his wing, like Mr. Miyagi, teaches him how to survive. And then as time passes, they take it to modern day New York City in the 80s. Kurgan, Clancy Brown is the last of the 2 Highlanders. Him and Christopher Lambert. They fight it out in a parking garage. I won't tell you what happens. Check it out. Great movie. Highlander. There can be only one.
All right. Well, I'm going to add that to my never-ending list. So a funny thing you mentioned Highlander. I was mentioning to you off air how I was talking to my poker buddy from Scotland, from Glasgow, and he was giving me some movies to watch as well. And it's just, I'm already predisposed to the Scots having spent an entire season in Outlander and the Sassenachs and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm with it. I can put Highlander on this damn list. Yeah, let's do that. Let me add this.
I'm very excited.
All right.
You should live tweet while you watch Highlander.
Is that good, huh?
It's that good.
All right, so my fourth one. Well, I already kind of said it. It'd be super lame, but I can't leave it out there. You might just take it. It is Shakespeare in Love. It gets a lot of shit because people didn't expect it to win the Best Picture Oscar or whatever. I was fine with it. I loved Shakespeare in Love. I think I owned it on DVD for the longest time. I mean, everyone is just super telegenic and charismatic, and I mean, even Ben Affleck does a decent English accent. I enjoyed it. Judi Dench won an Oscar for 9 minutes of screen time. It's like some sort of record as Queen Elizabeth. It was great. So I really enjoyed it. Gwyneth Paltrow, I mean, I won't lie. I thought she's kind of hot. I mean, she still is kind of hot. She's aged very well. She's well preserved, and she seems kind of born and made for these type of movies, these costume dramas with corsets and accents and deep smoldering looks in stage plays. Like, I'm with it. What did you think of Shakespeare in Love? Or have you seen Shakespeare in Love?
No, I have. I've seen it a few times. I mean, who's that? Ralph Fiennes. Is that Ralph Fiennes or
Joseph Fiennes? Yeah, Ralph Fiennes' little brother.
Yeah, his little brother. It was a good movie. I dug it, man. It was just enough Affleck.
Yeah.
Like, if it was more Affleck, it would have been too much Affleck. He kind of just came in, nailed like 4 or 5 scenes, whatever, like perfect with this weird, he was.
What is the play and what is my part?
Yeah, good flick. I have nothing bad to say about Shakespeare in Love. I'm not a huge Paltrow guy, but yeah, it was a good flick.
Yeah, and this is actually right in the middle of her real late 90s heat check. It was like this. She was in Bounce, and I think she was also dating Ben Affleck at the time too. But she was a bit of a thing in the late 90s for us millennials, for the Strangers in the world. I saw you that last time we had our pod, and you try to make me feel old. I ain't old, damn it.
That's Stranger's move. Stranger likes making everybody feel old. That's like one of his go-to moves, man.
I had no idea he was that fucking young. It's wild because every movie I threw up, I think what were we doing? I think we're doing top, I don't know, futuristic movies, whatever. Every movie I was throwing up was like before he was born, and he made sure to let me know about it. It was pretty funny.
Well,
I'm like, or else you'll pick it. He's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm not picking that.
I got news for Stranger. He might be 33, but his hairline is 53.
Oh,
let's go.
That's going in the group chat. You heard it here. All right, so that was my fourth one. What's your fifth one?
Real quick, let's do a quick little cultural cul-de-sac. Gwyneth Paltrow, like you're talking about, she was throwing fastballs. She was having a great like late 90s.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard like she was. I love the movie A Perfect Murder, but that wasn't necessarily a Paltrow movie. That was a Vigo Michael Douglas movie, but she was very good at it. What has she been really good in?
All right, so she was good in Emma, Sliding Doors, which as a movie was just okay, but it has survived the cultural lexicon as far as like that one moment where things go either in one or two directions. That's kind of survived as that. She was great in Great Expectations. I'm not sure if you saw it. I've got an English degree. I went and watched that shit.
God, her catalog is so depressing. Scroll up a little bit. None of these movies are fun. All of these
dramas. She's a dramatic actress. She's not a comedian.
The Royal Tenenbaums is all right. I don't know.
Royal Tenenbaums is great. What are you talking? Oh wow, okay. Bounce was great. No people slept on Bounce. No one liked Bounce. I loved Bounce. I thought it was really, really affecting. Talented Mr. Ripley. I mean, it's Talented Mr. Ripley. She was great in that.
Yeah, Paltrow way overrated, man.
Okay, well, you know what? You have affirmed the fact that you're not a Paltrow fan. Because yes, and these are almost all mostly dramas. I mean, Sylvia Plath. I mean, come on. I mean, Sylvia Plath. That's the drama. I mean, Proof. I mean,
she is to me. She's like the Josh Hartnett of female actresses.
Ouch! You take that back.
Yeah, I mean the Pepper Potts stuff, Iron Man. That's fine, but. Yeah, I'm not a Paltrow guy, man. I don't know. Not
fair enough. But you know what? Actually, speaking of Paltrow, coming this Friday, late Thursday night, is season 2 of The Politician. Did you watch the first season?
I did not.
Yeah, that was fun. She's actually playing a mother. So I don't know if that makes you more disposed for her or not. But I thought she was pretty good in the Politician. And I don't know. You know what? I guess I'm a Paltrow fan. You're a Paltrow tolerator, and that's fine.
Yeah, you're being nice by calling me a tolerator because I think she's trash.
You're out. You're out.
All right, my fifth one. This is actually probably one of my. This is a top. I'm not going to go crazy and say it's a top 5. this is probably a top 10 all-time movie for me. I just love this movie, and every time it's on, wherever it is, I generally end up watching most of it or part of it. The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh wow!
Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce, Richard Harris is like one of the best. I love Richard Harris. Everything Richard Harris is in, he's freaking phenomenal. Luis Guzman. Luis Guzman is like an all-time like that guy.
Whoa, this is Henry Cavill? Holy shit!
I mean,
I had no idea. Look how young he looks.
Yeah, absolutely, just a phenomenal movie. Count of Monte Cristo. If you haven't seen, obviously it's been remade over and over and over again. But yeah, I don't know. It's acted really well.
James Frame, quick cul-de-sac. James Frame, he is one of those guys who always works. He's always good in everything he does, and he's an excellent villain. Excellent
he's an excellent villain, man. There's a lot of that guys in this. Even like a young Henry Cavill, who became Superman, is in this movie. He plays at Albert Mondego, Guy Pearce's son. Just the famous Alexander Dumas story, and just a really good movie, man. It really well acted. The story flows nicely. And I'm just in for Count of Monte. I'm always in for revenge. I'm always down for some revenge. Whether it's this, whether it's Ransom with Mel Gibson, you name it, I'm in.
Well, so the thing about Count of Monte Cristo, obviously, I mentioned the English thing before. I've had to read it for some class here, there, or the other. But when I was a kid, I mean, super nerd alert. I mean, it doesn't matter. We all know I'm a nerd here. I was the 6th grade spelling bee champion. We covered that a couple weeks ago. Now we're going into the depths of my childhood. I would get, and I don't know if you remember these, Jay Devlin, I would get these books. They were like illustrated classics. They would basically abridge they basically do the highlights of all of these classic books, like Dickens, like Great Expectations, and Tale of Two Cities, whatever. And they have illustrations. So you have one page of text, one page of pictures, and they would do the whole book like that. And they were like, I don't know, no more than 150 pages each. And I would read all those little classics. I forget the exact title of those, but it was a series of books, and Count of Monte Cristo was one of them. And that's how I was first exposed to that book. So I was down for that. I saw this in the theater. I enjoyed it, but I haven't seen it again. So I'm actually glad you brought it up, because this is bringing back some memories. And also, where else do you get to see a young, fresh-faced, skinny Henry Cavill?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I just really dig that. One of my favorite scenes is the Caviezel scene where he gives the toast at the dinner table for Albert's birthday, and I won't do the monologue, but just one of my favorite monologues, one of my favorite speeches in any movie. And Caviezel, the guy played Jesus Christ, and this is still his best role. So.
Well said. And give it up for Guy Pearce, still getting them checks, still looks roughly the same. I watched this terrible, I think it was a Netflix movie the other day that he was on, came in under the radar, something about like a near future where there's like a prison colony in outer space, and you can tell he's totally mailing it in for the paycheck. It's a totally terrible movie. He's totally having fun with it because he's like, you know what, fuck this, no one's gonna see this. I'm just getting a check. I'm one of these weird actors with low self-esteem, so I must always be working in anything. And so that's what he did. Yeah, it was called what was it? He had what's his face was in it? Anyways, there's like only like 2 recognizable people in it, but he's in there, half acting, cracking wise, having fun, and I'm like, you know what? Live your best life, live your best life, guy. I can't even hate on you. Get your checks. It's not even listed here. That's how anonymous this thing is. Wow, that's wild. This movie's not even listed here. It just came out. Or maybe it came out in 2014. That's what it was. So this guy will always be working. He looks roughly the same. Australian, master of accents, has a huge wide range. I'm just gonna give it up for Guy Pearce real quick. Quick cultural cul-de-sac. I like that dude.
Yeah, I'm a Guy Pearce guy, man. He's pretty tough. My other request is, when I'm on again, can we please do best prison movies?
Oh shit, that's a great idea, actually.
I would. I mean, prison movies would be. We would need 2 hours because I got about 30 I want to talk about.
Fine, that might be our first ever top 10. and
Tango and Cash is absolutely a prison movie.
Oh wow! And of course, Shawshank. You want to say Shawshank?
Shawshank's overrated.
Thank you. I didn't want to say that.
Shawshank and Gwyneth Paltrow can just I'm good, dude. I'm out on those 2.
All right, no more Gwyneth Paltrow heresy. I'm going to do my last movie, and that is Lady Macbeth. Have you heard of this one?
I have.
Oh, have you seen it?
No.
So this is what really, really gave us Florence Pugh. Now, I actually went back and watched this after I saw Florence Pugh in the miniseries Little Drummer Girl, in which she was great. She was absolutely outstanding in this. She's super hot, super young. She's super charismatic. And this movie, this is a Florence Pugh delivery vehicle. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Florence Pugh and her oeuvre. It's still kind of being fashioned. I don't think she's had like more than maybe a dozen high profile roles. But this movie is just her in a bad marriage back in, whatever century, Scotland or whatever. And she's just plotting on a way to get out of this loveless marriage. She has this affair with like the stable boy, so cliche. But then everything goes awry, and it just gets weird and creepy. And it's all about her, and I love it entirely. Lady freaking Macbeth.
I'm going to be honest with you. Other than Shakespeare in Love, I've seen none of your movies.
Thank you. That's
I will check them out. I will check a few of them out, though, for sure. You got to check out Highlander, though.
Oh, it's on my list. I'm with you. It's on my list. As soon as you can pull yourself away from Survivor, and as soon as I can pull myself away from Outlander, we'll check each other's movies out. Absolutely. I mean, look at Florence Pugh, just a queen. Damn it, a young queen. Captures world. She's going to be in Black Widow whenever the hell that comes out. She's got a whole bunch of shit lined up. Let's do a quick cultural code of Florence Pugh. Quick deep dive. I mean, not a huge filmography, 17 credits, but she was in Little Women, Midsommar, which is really disturbing. She was in that. Fighting with My Family, which is kind of dumb, but she's fine in it. I mean, and Little Drummer Girl was excellent. Totally excellent.
I'm just, like 2020 has been so wild. I'm just ready for a reset. I'm ready for new people. I'm just I'm ready for. I want to meet new people in these movies, and this girl is definitely one of them. I'm excited for the Black Widow movie. I'm sure she's going to be great. Like maybe that's the Paltrow thing. I'm just sick of the same people over and over and over again being in these movies that we talk about. Give me some fresh faces.
Fair enough. And honestly, she's only 24, even though she's dating 40-year-old Zach Braff. # goals. Well done, Zach. So, I mean, she's going to be with us for a very, very long time. And you know what?
Boom.
That ends that segment. That's good shit. Great picks, Jay Devlin. I obviously have my homework cut out for me. Right now, we're going to take a quick break to bring people up to speed on the Cinema Draft game and the DraftStream game variant on how it's played and what it's all about. So we'll be right back after this. And we're back. All right. So our over-under has been mothballed until theaters reopen. And please take your time, theaters. Regal, you announced today you're coming back on July 10th. Why? No one's going to your fucking theater. Same with you, AMC. Just stop. Just stop. Anyways, since we're doing something different until theaters reopen, we're doing the quarantine movie of the week. Last week it was The Night Clerk, which I'm not sure if you've seen this, Jay Devlin, but this was a nice, tight, little, like 90-minute mystery-ish thriller. Ty Sheridan plays like an autistic guy who works at a hotel, who's obsessed with Ana de Armas. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? And and so that was the quarantine movie of the week last week. This week, let me share my screen. We are going to do. There we go. We are going to do Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. I love black people. So, I mean,
I'm
this
not
whole
gonna
movie.
cry, Roy. I'm not gonna cry.
This whole movie's a quotable. I mean, it's so good. Everyone's. Well, I would say everyone's young and hungry, but everyone's just is. Well, this actually really kind of gave us Renee Zellweger. I mean, she'd been around Empire Records, things of that nature, but this is what really elevated her into high B, A- list status or what have you. I mean, Tom Cruise, top of his game, super charismatic. I remember hearing that he was going to play a sports agent back in, I think I heard about 92, 93. I think this movie came out in 95 or 96. And I was like, really? That seems kind of slow for Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise is like, doing these big historical dramas and jumping off airplanes, just started Mission Impossible series in 95. Like, what's he doing just playing a sports agent? But he really poured his heart and soul into this. It was really, really good. A sports agent who gets a conscience, leaves a big agency with just his accountant with him, and is out there on a wing and a prayer with one client, the crazy Oscar-winning Cuba Gooding Jr. What other thoughts do you have about Jerry Maguire?
Well, hey, one of the best Oscar speeches of all time by Cuba. It's funny you picked this movie because literally 2 nights ago, my girlfriend's, one of her daughters was over who's 20, and we're trying to figure something out to watch. And she said, I've never seen a Tom Cruise movie. And look, I'm an unapologetic Tom Cruise fan. I don't care about Scientology. I don't care about jumping on couches. I don't care how weird he is. The dude brings the heat every single time in everything he does. He has the greatest movie catalog of any actor in the history of movie making. And I will die on that hill. There's nobody even a close second. The guy's got 30 years of incredible movies. Anyway, we watched Jerry Maguire. She absolutely loved it. I loved watching it for the 50th time. And yeah, just a phenomenal movie. Everybody kills it. Renee Zellweger, I guess I would say this. Watching it again, I got a little depressed about old Renee.
Oh, how so?
She was really good, and she was cute, and it was a Cameron Crowe movie, and it was all those things. And then I just feel like, and this is saying something considering Tom Cruise is weird as shit. She just got weird after this movie.
Hold on, she got weird, or Hollywood got weird with her?
It all got weird. Her face got weird. Like, she just did things. I don't know. I liken it to who was in Dirty Dancing. What was her name? With the
Jennifer
mole?
Grey. Yeah,
Jennifer Grey. Like, the mole was what made you interesting. Look at Cindy Crawford. That's what made her famous. Then she gets rid of the mole, Jennifer Grey, and she's just like everybody else. I don't know. Renee Zellweger looks like she had a facelift at like 38 years old, about 30 years too early. That was depressing. All that aside, phenomenal movie. Jerry Maguire, probably a top 8 movie of all time.
Yeah, and there's a whole. I haven't really read the art. I think there's like a whole like long article on with Renee Zellweger's kind of run up to winning the Oscar for Judy, it was a fine movie. Judy was fine. She has a really good Judy Garland impersonation in it. It's fine. But there was like a whole like article about like what happened to Renee Zellweger and like, you know, basically since when she was hot in the late 90s, early aughts, whatever, to now. And it really is kind of like a textbook case of like a combination of Hollywood sexism, insecurities, and plastic surgery all kind of coalescing into one career with Renee Zellweger. So it is kind of tragic to an extent, but she won an Oscar at just last year. So it's not like she's invisible. Like, she still is doing stuff. Now, if you saw that show, was it What's Next or What If? That's what it is. What If on Netflix. Yeah. Terrible show, but she's interesting in it. She's so good.
I feel like if you read, she's like Chris Webber to me. If you redid their career 10 times, it's going to be better probably 8 of the 10 times.
Absolutely.
I know she won an Oscar, but like, other than Jerry Maguire, nothing she did other than marrying Kenny Chesney is terribly memorable, other than what she did to her face.
Oh, no. Well, that's a point. Actually, let me see. I just want to challenge that real quick. Just see if there's... Well, Chicago. She was great in Chicago. You remember Chicago?
Yeah, but see, she reminds me of like the character Robert Downey Jr. plays in Tropic Thunder, where she's so method that like she's going to wake up in a trash can in Burbank because she's playing Neil Armstrong, you know. I don't know. Something about her just like, it's a little much for me. But she's phenomenal in the movie. Yeah, I don't want to take away from Jerry Maguire. I don't want to get sidetracked on the old Renee Zellweger. But
you're right. But I will say, in her defense, Chicago, Cold Mountain was good, and then also the Bridget Jones. At least the first 2. I like the first 2.
Okay, Bridget Jones was solid. But again, you're scrolling down her IMDb, man. It's like Gwyneth Paltrow's. I'm depressed.
Well, it gets. I mean, look at this gap from 2010 to 2016. A 6-year gap. That's Hollywood at work right there. That's Hollywood saying, we don't know what to do with you. Fuck it. Just don't work. And then she has to come back with like Bridget Jones' Baby or something, which was just unmemorable to say.
I didn't even realize that was a thing, man. But but I mean, dude, look, if anybody's listening to this podcast that's never seen Jerry Maguire, that will shock me. But it's just one of those timeless flicks, man. I mean, it's so insanely quotable. Yeah. Like it is such a quotable movie. It's just so good.
Yeah, and also a good Kelly Preston too. Don't ever stop. Look at me. So good.
You are not a loser.
Yes.
Who said anything about loser?
So good. All right, so yes, that is our quarantine movie of the week. Give me your tweet length review at Play Cinema Draft on Twitter, and we'll definitely get into it. Time for our draft stream update. Somebody was a naughty boy. You did not grace us with your presence last week, so I want to get your thoughts.
I have a bone to pick with you. That's why. I was on strike.
Oh, what happened? What we do?
I mean, I'm a little. So look, I've made it known that my strategy going into this game is I know you so well, and I know the Cinema Draft game so well that I don't know any of these TV shows that you're or Netflix shows or movies or whatever you're putting up there, but I know how you price things.
Okay.
So my entire strategy is based on how you price things. Okay. And the week that you decide to go multi-entry and give all these guys 3 entries, I said no. I did one single bullet that probably would have won had you not given everybody else 3 entries.
Oh yeah, so, is that what happened? Is that what we're saying now, Jay Dev?
No, I had a busy week and I just couldn't get a lineup in. But
there it is. I'm trying to find last week's. I can't find it. Screw it. Whatever. Here it is. And actually, this is a week that Jay Bird took off. He had family obligations or what have you. So, but I was still ready for him. I was less than 20 points off of the perfect call sheet. I was actually pretty proud of my call sheet. Of course, Gamble 24x7 G24. He had the exact same call sheet, but fill out your tiebreakers, folks, because he did not fill out a tiebreaker. He ends up coming in second, but gets first place money because we are only awarding money to the top 2 non-Cinema Draft affiliated players and call sheets. Quick look at my call sheet and his. We both had a headliner stack of the 5 Bloods and just went all in, did a max stack on Morona's Fantastic Tale. Our high score of the weekend, 110.65, some sort of foreign animation. I wasn't interested, but apparently other people were. And actually, I was really excited about this week from a pricing standpoint because this was the first week where the highest salaried title actually scored among the highest scores. This was the second highest scoring title of the week, second only to Morona's Fantastic Tale, which, as you can see, was just pure value right here. Pure value.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I think everybody
getting the hang of it finally, but it's still a new game. We're only 10 weeks in, super small sample size. You don't have a lot of historical data to base this stuff on because this really hasn't been done before. But I think we're kind of getting the hang and the angle on how to price these things somewhat appropriately.
Yeah, I think people learned a lot, and it was really because people faded Space Force a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
and usually the highest priced options are always played, right? Because it just seems so obvious. But everybody was very smart to ignore Space Force, and again, I think 2 weeks ago when I put in a really good lineup, I went back to the old rules of the Cinema Draft game. And I went with a lot of foreign films, especially in the cheaper categories. If you're trying to save money, dude, those foreign films, especially the Indian films, dude, they kill it. They absolutely kill it, man. So I'll be back in there this week, man. But I'm not a fan of the 3 entry. I'm a single bullet guy. I'm a 1 entry guy. I got to stay true to myself, but I'm coming for that top spot with my 1 entry this week.
You and the draft mom, Brown baby. She's gonna go hard. She's gonna go hard with 1 call sheet. Well,
we're kindred spirits, me and the draft mom. All right,
and she sends you her love. You are. Don't tell Stringer, but you are her favorite. He claims that he's her favorite. I'm like, how? You've been on the podcast like 3 times. You are obviously her favorite. She sends her love. One thing I want to bring your attention to is the master score list. I talked a little bit about it in the recap from last week. But basically, this is a tool at your disposal. You can find it on the scoring tab right here. Click master score list. Best practices is to make a copy of it, so then you can just go ahead and sort this sucker 6 ways a Sunday, and you can kind of decipher some patterns by genre. Oh, okay, I see animation scores this, or you can sort it by platform. That's also kind of cool one. Oh, Apple TV. It stands for quality. Look at these scores, nothing lower than 86. So, you can kind of use those type of tools when you're concocting your call sheet for this week, where we do have an Apple TV. We actually have another foreign drama, some documentaries. Yeah, we got a nice little hodgepodge. This week's scoring, or this week's salary making, it's a little. I guess the salaries are a little depressed, only because there's no clear cut winner of what's going to be popular this week. A lot of these pricings are based off of kind of historical performance by genre or by platform and general buzz. The buzziest thing this weekend possibly is Perry Mason. So I think that is our highest priced. That's our highest priced title of the weekend. And then after that, it gets kind of squirrely. Stardog and Turbo Cat, and that's some sort of family animation of which I'm not familiar. Another one that's also up there is Dads. That's it looks like a celebrity documentary on celebrity dads. Will Smith, Ron Howard, Bryce Dallas Howard, people of that nature. So it's going to be a free-for-all this weekend. It's going to be a free-for-all.
I like it. Hey, I forgot one thing when we were talking about what we're watching. I did watch something this week that I loved. And if people want a little laughter in their life, there's a great comedian named Al Madrigal.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay, who's amazing, and he's got a special. I think you can find it on like Amazon Video or somewhere. It's called Shrimpin' Ain't Easy. Ah,
there it is. Okay.
If you want to laugh and you just want to kick back, I mean, this dude, I was dying. One of the best. It's not in the pantheon of great all time stand ups like Raw or whatever. But it's just hysterically funny, and you'll love it. So check it out. Shrimpin' Ain't Easy, Al Madrigal. Great stuff.
Y'all heard it here first, and we'll have to add that to the list. We like to laugh here at Cinema Draft, damn it. And so this is a reminder, get your call sheets in. We are going 3 max once again. I appreciate all the extra data. More work for me, but more data for all of us. Your call sheets are due in by 6 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you get those sent in. Make sure you share them with me and allow me to edit with cinemadraft at gmail.com, and we will get your call sheets in there. We are also putting up, again, a $50 prize pool. I tried hard. I couldn't quite get there. I couldn't beat out ring balls for the low. I mean, it was down to the wire, too. Look at this. Less than 2 points separated me from the low. As I was scoring these, I got to... So when this went up from like a 3.9 to a 4.0, I was ahead by like 3, or I was below by like 3 points or whatever. And then fucking Infamous. Infamous. Yeah, here it is. Infamous scored only, went from a 3.4 to 3.6, and that's what killed me. It got too popular, damn it. And that's what went from me winning the low $10 bonus and rolling it into this week's prize pool to ring balls, getting a $10 PayPal, blah, 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 whatever. So congratulations, ring balls.
I would like to add another layer to the game this week.
What's that?
I'm working on it in my head. I'm gonna add a little wrinkle. All right. Whoever finishes in 5th place.
5th? Okay.
5th place, but it has to be their number 1 lineup. It can't be their number 2. It can't be their number 3. Whoever finishes, if you finish in 5th place with your number 1 lineup,
okay,
I will give you $50.
Oh, that sounds like a draft mom alert. All right, Mom.
Shout out to my single entry number 1 lineup, people. Number 1 lineup. If you're in 5th place, you get $50 from me. If it doesn't, if the 5th place finisher this week is not a 1 lineup guy or their first lineup guy, I'll roll it over to the next week.
Well. Adding a little juice to the steak. You know what, Jay Devlin? We appreciate the extra action, and honestly, we expect nothing less. So,
real quick, how much for first place?
35.
Oh, perfect. I want 5th place to win more than first place.
So aim for the middle, damn it. Y'all aim for the middle. Be good, but not too good. Get that middle.
Just hang out in the middle like the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, maybe not this year, but most years.
So this past week, this would have been a ring. Well, actually, this is his 3rd lineup. So actually, the one close to the 5th with his first line would have been the GOC, the God of Cheese. He would have gotten that 5th place bonus. Possibly, maybe
5th place bonus, $50. Come on, draft mom. Come on.
All right, so actually, let's make it more specific because in this scenario, I occupied 2 of the top 5 spots. So the top 5 non-cinema draft people or non swag official. Yeah, let's give draft mom a shot. So not everyone.
Well, I'll give you a shot. But like I said, it has to have if you're playing 3 lineups.
Okay.
It has to be the lineup with a 1 next to it.
Okay.
All right. So last week you would have won the $50.
Oh wow, yeah, or actually ring balls with it because I'm in 4th here, but
that's his 3rd lineup. He would not have won. So
you're right.
So we'll do it this way: God of Cheese would have won $50 last week.
Okay, fair enough. So closest to person in 5th or closest to with their number 1 lineup will win $50 action juice bonus by Jay Dev. And if that's you, then you say you're going to roll it into next week, correct?
And if it's me, everybody else that plays has to send me $50.
Good luck collecting on that one. Well, I love the extra action, Jay Dev. Thanks for juicing up the game. We will definitely be keeping an eye on that. And let's bring this in for landing. It's been a pleasure as always, Jay Dev. Thanks for coming by, elevating the Cinema Draft Pod with your presence. This is the time where I ask you to plug your ish. You have ish to plug.
Dude, I don't really have any ish to plug, man. Through all the pandemic and everything that's going on, we've kind of been off the airways. But, give us a follow. Mostly sports on Instagram, Facebook, iHeartRadio, UBN Radio. Just put it in the Google machine. We'll be back up on the airways. We got a bunch of good guests coming. I actually got a former Survivor winner ready to go.
There it is.
I would rather interview this guy than Tom Cruise or Will Smith or anybody or Michael Jordan. I'm very excited to interview this guy. But yeah, we'll be back up and running when sports get going again.
There it is. The Mostly Sports Podcast, co-hosted by your boy, Jay Devlin, gamer extraordinaire, cineast, Highlander fan, just spreading love across the world. Thanks again for coming by. And this is the time where we usually say, go see a movie yourself, or we're not. We're being safe, despite some people's best efforts. So why don't you quarantine with a movie yourself? Come back and check us out. Thanks for watching.